Good morning, Tiny Tummy family. Happy Friday. So I'm gonna struggle along this morning. The power was out last night. There was something wrong with, I don't know, a power pole like that was right in front of the house. So we had huge trucks out, no power. It was hot, and you know, the guys in doing their job they were real loud, and our bedroom faces the front yard, so that was fun. I did bust out my running lights, so I felt like what's his name, Iron Man, for about 2 minutes, and then the fun was over because we literally couldn't sleep because of the heat and because of them working, but they got it up and running just in time, so we still got to do this morning. But yeah, I'm just gonna toot along through it and we'll see how it goes. Anyhow, so today I wanted to talk about lifestyle changes post-surgery because, you know, there's a lot of them, and I'll go over some of the things that I do and the reasons why. So let's get on into it. Let's make sure my mouse is on. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. So hydration. Hydration is key for us. We can get dehydrated really fast. Just, you know, maybe it's kind of like I'm beating a dead horse here, but this is something that we definitely need. And 64 ounces, unless you're super active. So it equals about 8 cups. You can go on Amazon and get, you know, one of those real fun big jug things to carry around with you. I got this one from good old Walmart. It was on clearance for like $5. So this one will hold 50 ounces. Great, you just refill it as needed. And yeah, the 64 ounces doesn't include any protein supplements that you're having throughout the day. So it's just 64 ounces of water, and then along with whatever else you're drinking. So when I'm running, I use trace mineral drops. I throw that in my water bladder, and it just has some extra things. It has magnesium chloride, sodium, potassium, sulfate, lithium, boron. And for me, it's not doing anything negative, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it because that's what works for me. I'm not saying you need to go and get that, but I'm just showing you some of the things that I use. And yeah, I also use liquid IV. It's pretty much a daily thing, and this one is my favorite. It's the tangerine. It's hydration multiplier and immune support, because my whole life I get sick, but I guess it helps. I don't know, it definitely helps with hydration, that's for sure. That's something that's needed with the amount of miles that I put in per week. And unless I'm doing like double digits or I've gone out and it's really, really hot, generally like 1 packet will do me per day. I just use half of the packet, like shake it up in a water bottle, and that's good, you know, maybe in the morning, and then towards late afternoon use the other half of the packet. But if it's like a real hard workout day, then I'll use a full packet to a bottle of water. And my hydration seems to be going like pretty darn good, so no complaints there. I'm gonna stick with what works for me. Sorry, I keep hitting this thing. And it's great. So stay hydrated. We have to take our sips all day long. It's constantly hand to mouth. That's just how it works. Daily calories. So again, all of this stuff is like for what I'm doing, and I'm 2 years post-surgery. You would pretty much need this a year post-surgery going forward. So this is all things we need to do for the rest of our lives. Daily calories, 1,000 to 2,000. And again, that's just depending on your activity level. Obviously, if you're doing more, your body is going to need more nutrition to keep you going. Within those calories, get it however you eat. For me, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. So I eat things a little bit differently. I'll do, let me show you. So like my protein, just kind of the basics of my meals, along with the vegetables, I eat things like this, Morningstar chicken, and Morningstar chorizo crumbles. It tastes great. I choose not to eat meat. Number one, that's my choice. I'm not okay with how animals are treated. If you eat meat, great, go for it. You do you. I used to love it, but it's just different for me now. And I also learned that meat tends to sit there in my stomach longer. Like it's harder to digest on my end. It may be great for you. You may digest it fantastic and move on with your life. Great. That's just, we're all different. Our bodies react differently. So, yeah, your meal makeups should be 3 ounces of protein, a cup of vegetables or fruit, not 1 cup of each, because again, our stomachs can only hold so much, and you know, we don't want to push it to the limits. And a 4th cup of starch. So the asterisk there is if you need it. It's not like, it's just as needed. You're doing those long runs like me, I'll throw in some potato, whether it's sweet potato or russet potato. And that's what works. We know the starchy carbs like the bread and pastas, those don't do anything for us physically, so we should be staying away from them anyways. But the potato starches, those our bodies process a lot better, so that should be your meal makeup. And 3 meals a day with this is what generally should be working for you, and give or take a couple snacks here and there. And the snacks may consist of, you know, a handful of almonds, simple things like that. When we go to protein, you know, protein is the #1 thing we should be going to. That's just the first and foremost. And so like back to these things, what is this one? The chicken. So a serving of it has 24 grams of protein. Obviously that's the thing that I'm gonna eat first out of every meal. And the chorizo one, it only has 9 grams of protein per serving. So when I do that, I usually add like cottage cheese, because that's pretty high in protein value. And for me, my meals end up being kind of squishy. I'm okay with that. I like the mushiness. It's something that happened after surgery. I can still eat like crunchy things and it's fine, but my preferences go towards the squishy, and that's just what works for me as far as the meal goes. For protein supplements, this is what I use. Muscle Tech, Nitrotech. Each serving has 30 grams. And sometimes if I have to run at night, you know, I have my water bladder. It's with me always, whether I do a mile, whether I'm doing 11 miles. And if I come home and it's a night run, I know I've been hydrated throughout the run, but I also know I need to get that protein in because my muscles just did a lot of work. And so I'll jokingly tell my husband like, oh, I'm just gonna drink my dinner. That, you know, it's not, I'm not like drinking, but the drinking is the protein part of it. I will have my protein to kind of finish out my day. That's drinking my dinner. And I know I've got that in, and it does, it's like 8 ounces. So it'll take me a cool chunk just to finish that drink. So I literally have to come home, create the drink, and get started on it. Because protein sits a lot longer in our tiny tummies. So you can't just go like, boom, 8 ounces over the course of an hour. Sometimes it'll take me an hour 15, an hour and a half just to get that down, because it feels full in my stomach. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Let's get to vitamins and minerals. So again, for me, when I run my water, I just throw in a few drops of trace minerals. But then our daily vitamins, minerals, supplements, they start early in the morning. For me, yes, I love my sleep, but I will wake up a little bit throughout the night, throughout the morning. And if I wake up and it's like 5 a.m., then I'm going to immediately take my thyroid medicine. This is something because my thyroid's, just trying to give up on life. So at present, I'm at 150 mcg of Synthroid. That's just what I do. So with the vitamins, you have to stagger them because one can cancel out another. And so if you're taking them really close together, then it's almost useless for your body. Your body's not absorbing what it needs. And for me, I'll take the Synthroid like first thing in the morning. You can't have caffeine with it because that negates everything it's trying to do. You can't eat for an hour because it doesn't work. You have to have it on an empty stomach. So if I'm going for a run in the morning, and let's say it's a long run and I'm having one of my like little goo pouches, or the Boom Energy, I call them goo even though they're Boom Energy, but it's squishy, it's gooey. That has a little bit of caffeine in it to help you maintain this long run. So I need to be mindful of the timing so I don't cancel out what this thyroid medicine's trying to do for me. Then, a few hours after that, I'll take my first D3 vitamin, and that it gets me started for the day. So there's 2 of these per day. They taste like citrusy, kind of like orange. I get them on Amazon, so I'll put all the links in the bottom of the video when I'm done with this. But yeah, then that kickstarts, the rest of the day. A few hours after that, I have my calcium. And these are delicious. Again, I'll put the link in. They're real small, and you have 2 a day and stagger them. So that's what I have. I like sweets, and so that's a nice little something to have. I mean, not as a snack because it's not, but hey, if you want, it kind of tastes like candy and it's doing good for your body. So yeah, then later on in the day, I'll have the next little D3. Cool, it's quick, it's easy, good. And then hours later, the second calcium. And at the end of the night, and of course I'm staggering all this stuff right before bed, and literally when I feel myself falling asleep, I take the Bariatric multivitamin, because this one's a hit and miss. Sometimes it'll make me real nauseous within 15 minutes, like watery mouth, dry heaving, and sometimes it won't. It'll just be like, whatever, it's a vitamin. But I personally have always had issues with multivitamins. Even when my doctor says, just take the kids version because it's not gonna have as strong a reaction to you. That my body would just try and send it right back where it came from. So that's what I do. That closes out my night. And then I wake up with, the fun neon PP. So that's just the vitamin supplements. We need those. And these are things that are going to happen for life. I need to take them for life because of this tiny tummy and the amount of nutrients I can get from my food daily. And I'm okay with that, because maybe it seems like a lot in, like, when you set them all together, they're here on the little table, and it's like, wow, that's a lot of stuff going on. But throughout the day, being staggered, it's not even a nuisance. It's whatever. So those are just things that I'm okay with, and I know that's just part of life. So when I have to restock on them, most of them are like on subscriptions now. You save a little money with the subscriptions, and you're not worried about it. It just comes to you every 30 days, every 90 days, whatever you pick on how you have to use them. But that's what works, and they're delicious. So, well, except for the nighttime ones. It doesn't really taste like anything unless it's trying to come back. But usually I'm asleep with that, so no worries there. Activity. Our bodies need that activity more so, you know, now than ever. We've got to maintain what we're trying to do here. We have the second chance, we got the surgery, and we got to do our best to keep it going. So 30 minutes per day, whether it's just going out for a walk, you're elevating your heart rate, you get that body moving. Yeah, 30 minutes plus. At minimum, my workouts like are 36 minutes, and they just stretch out from there, whatever it's doing. If it's been a real crazy day, I'm gonna incorporate like 15 minutes of yoga, because I know I just need something to get my body moving. And yoga is not easy. I thought that stuff was gonna be like, hey, smooth stretching, all is great, like downward dog. No, that will make, like, sometimes I'm there struggling, like shaking to hold this position, but I know my body is trying, and I can appreciate that. So yeah, just get out there, take your little water bottle with you, even if it's a teeny tiny one. Like right now, I have this little baby thing in case I needed it while I'm talking, but I feel okay. So, you know, you don't have to go out like me in the full gear with the water bladder and all that. If you're doing your walks, take a little something, because yes, we still need to be sipping our water every 10-15 minutes. Take that with you. Get out in the early morning, get out in the evening. I stay away from the midday crazy sunshine heat, but I also live in the desert, and it's a lot. The heat is a lot on my body post-surgery. So I've learned what works for me. You'll learn what works for you. If you live somewhere beautiful that's like by a lake, cool, go enjoy that, you know. Take some oats, feed the ducks, do what makes you happy, but get your body out there and moving. That's all, you know, we can do in this post-VSG life. So yeah, I hope you got some value from these things, from these tips, these little nuggets. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just going by these things that I do in my life and my journey, and you know, things that were recommended by Kaiser, which is where I got my surgery from. But yeah, feel free to follow along on Instagram. I'm on there as Jen_Bailey17. I throw up stories, I throw up some reels. I have the different highlight things, and you can see stuff that's going on in my life as it happens. And on Strava, feel free to follow on Strava. I'm just on there as Jen Bailey. You can see my activity. Like anybody, I have off days where I need to not do anything, you know, and that's okay. I put in a lot of miles throughout the week, and so I can't do things that are going to hurt myself in the long run. So like yesterday, for example, yesterday was just busy and crazy, and I didn't have anything. I think these days blend. You'll see as you're active and you make things happen. days come and go, and we're adults and life and kids and all of this stuff. But yeah, feel free to check it out on there. See what I'm doing, be nosy. I don't care. It's, you know, accountability. I would love to see what you're doing as well. Like, give me a follow, I'll follow you back. I will cheer you on from Lancaster. And yeah, that's where we're at in this life. So again, I hope you got some value from this. Put any comments, questions in there. I am happy to answer. My life is an open book. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me, checking this out. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. Do something fun, do something that makes you happy and healthy along the way. So until next time, sending light, love, and happiness. See you later.